So we have talked about the info group modifier and the additional actions, and we have also talked about admins, system admins or admin groups. We also talked about organizational key. While hiring also, we have checked that these things are working as per the expectations. Then you have this cost center field. In organizational assignment, we have cost center field. So cost center, we're not talking about cost center because this is essentially maintained by the SAP FICO consultant. It's created by the SAP FICO consultant. They have a T code, KS01 T code you can use to create the cost center. It's a 10-digit code. It's a 10-digit code. Cost center is a 10-digit code. Okay. So position is actually assigned with a cost center. Position is actually assigned with the cost center. Cost center, we are talking of FICO, and position, you are talking from OM point of view. And cost center can be assigned, position can be assigned to a cost center. That is how we are using in HR. But we have configured admin group and organizational key. All right. That is about cost center. Then you have legal person. Legal person. We talked about legal person in the very beginning classes. So usually in projects, we're generally not using this legal person. So it can be called as obsolete. It is a field. It is used as a field in organizational assignment. Usually you don't use it in real time. In real time, legal person is not used. However, if you intend to use, you can use it as for a body, legal body applicable for a particular employee, for example, can be maintained. So one legal body is applicable to multiple employees, for example. However, it has become obsolete now, legal person. Then we also talked about business area. Business area. Business area, a type of segment or a type of business or a line of business. It usually captures the total income or the total revenue. This is also usually maintained by the FICO consultant. Usually maintained by the FICO consultant. It's a 4-digit code, 4-digit code. And you can go back and create business area. You can also go back and create business area. Then you have to talk about payroll area. Payroll area is nothing but it's an element representing a group of employees for the purpose of running payroll at the same frequency and same date. We will discuss about payroll further in payroll class. We will soon complete PA module, then we will go for OM module, then we'll go for time, then we'll talk about payroll. You can use, you can, but it is a part of personal administration. You can go back and create a payroll area. But for now, we are using the default payroll area like N6 or A1. Then you have contract field. You have a contract field is there, an organizational as a contract. Now contract field, you can call it as work contract. Work contract. It's the same thing. It shows as contract field, but it is actually work contract. In India, this work contract or contract field is not used regularly. It's not used regularly. In other countries, you can use, particularly in European countries like Austria, you can use this field. So what is this contract? You can use this field to maintain the trade union information. This contract field you can maintain to create and maintain trade union information. You can usually maintain trade union information. You can maintain. Okay, this is, and position field, other fields, we can talk about this position and others in the OM module we will discuss. So position, other things we are usually skipping from the beginning. And position, we are using a default position like 99999 nines. That kind of position field you are using. Then you have organizational unit, other things. Those are things we can take care in OM module again. We'll talk about it OM module. Okay. Then we talked about personal data, personal data or personal information or personal data. Personal data consists of date of birth, birth name, first name, last name, middle name, date of birth, other things it contains. It also contains like forms of address. While hiring also you are maintaining like Mr., Miss, Mrs., Midge, all these things you are selecting while maintaining personal data with the first name, last name. These are nothing but that first name is a field, middle name is a field, last name is a field. All these are fields. Marital status or religion, all these things you are maintaining. Name, what name you are maintaining, first name, last name, middle name, date of birth, religion, marital status, all these things you are maintaining. So these can be influenced. Like you are also maintaining the address forms like Mr. or Ms. or Miss, like that you are maintaining. These details you are maintaining. For example, you are working for some European country or some South American country. So in the project they may not want to use like Mr. or Mrs. They don't want use like this. They're not using. What I'm saying is, in personal data you have maintained information like Mr., Miss, other things. We have hired multiple times. We have done hiring multiple times. While hiring also, I'm selecting Mr. or Mrs. and I'm typing the name. But in some projects, they're not using Mr., Miss, all these things they're not using. They may be using, for example, in European countries like Baron or Baroness or Senior, depending on the country, Senorita, like that, they may be using. In some Indian projects, in some Indian, not all, they may not be using Mr. Miss. They may be using Sri, Srimati, like this. They may be using. But while I'm hiring in SAP, these options are not there for me to select. These options are not there. That is one point. All these things, first we have to understand. We have already configured and checked these things, some of these things. Some of these things we have not created. These things we have not created. Business area or contract, we have not created. Some like position or org unit, these things we will discuss in OM module. So we are ignoring these things now. Here, what we have done is we are maintaining first name, last name. These are the things we are maintaining. And we are maintaining with values like this. These are nothing but values. Mr., Mrs., Miss, all these we are maintaining. But while you are working, there may be requirement to maintain like these: Baron, Baroness, Senior, Senorita, or in India, they may be using Sri, Srimati, like that. But while I'm hiring, these are not available for maintaining. Okay. So additionally, we have certain values that you want to maintain, like name format. One of the things is name format. In SAP, we are checking the name format. What is the name format? Whatever we are maintaining, the employee data, how it is visible at the header or any other place when you are maintaining that data. Last name you are typing, first name you are typing and saving, and it is displaying at the record how it is. Name format, you can check the name format. This thing you can check. Name format also you can check. Also you can use second title. Second title, what is second title? Second title is nothing but some prefixes or affixes or suffixes, suffix or prefix or affixes. And what is this prefix or suffix? There are certain titles that come after the end of the name. You can call it as suffix. Like sometimes it is written that Ravi Kumar, MBA or Ravi Kumar PhD, or some prefixes you are using to name. These are also part of the personal data. All these things are part of the personal data that we are discussing. Certain suffix prefix may be applicable. Like some prefix or suffix, like even the qualifications also they are maintaining, like MBA, MCA as a suffix. So if you want to hire an employee, for example, US employee, so in personal data, SSN is required, mandatory, social security number. Whereas in personal data, we are not maintaining Aadhaar details. So when we enter any of this data, it should be in sync with the values that you are trying to create. And another thing you have to understand is the challenge. Challenge info type is there, if you remember. Challenge info type. This one also we discussed while we talked about the info types. Challenge info type. What is challenge info type? It's nothing but if an employee has some physical challenges, physical disability, what you call physical challenge, you can maintain that. Challenge info type. It's nothing but info type 0004. Challenge info type 0004. Then we also talked about addresses. Address. While hiring also, we are maintaining some address like Bangalore, Hyderabad, some address details we are maintaining. You are typing the address details. So we are also maintaining subtypes like one also we are maintaining for permanent, one for permanent address you are maintaining. So we have other, this one is standard, one permanent address is standard. There are also temporary address or home address or emergency address you can maintain. For example, you want to maintain the trade union address, or CVL trade union. Company is CVL or something is there, right? That we are maintaining CVL trade union address, which is not there in the system. In the SAP system, it is not there. CVL trade union is not there. For example, Baron, Baroness is not there, or Sri, Srimati is not there. Similarly, in SAP, it's not there. And this is also not there similarly. But for your work, this is required. These things are required. These things are required. That's what the issue. First of all, you have to understand that issue. Okay. So these are the things that you are going to maintain, all these things. So what I will do is I will log into the SAP system and we can go back and maintain these things. So I'm logging into the system, and I will share screen, SAP system screen. I will share once again. Okay, so what I'm doing is I will go back and maintain. I will go to SPRO, SAP reference IMG. All right. So what I will do is I'll go to the enterprise structure, SPR SAP reference IMG. I'm going to the enterprise structure. And I'll go to the definition, financial accounting. And I'm going to define business area. Define business area. I'll go with 0501 or 0511. 0511. And I can maintain like GVC something. I will maintain GVC, some AI segment, for example, AI segment, or 0512. Code development, for example, code development, whatever you can maintain. And I'm saving it. AI segment and code development segment. Two segments I'm maintaining as a business area. Okay, this is done. This is saved, and you can go back. You can go back once again. Then what I will do is, we were talking about the trade union contract field. What I'll do is I'll go down to personal management, personal management. Then personal administration. Then organizational data. I'm expanding that tree structure. Organizational data. Then organizational assignment. Then I'll go to external organizational assignment. And maintain external work contract. Maintain external work contract. You can go here, maintain external work contract. So you can go for the country that you are working for. So 40, you can type or 40 for India, or the appropriate country grouping. We are working with India, 40 is there, which is fine. You can click on enter. Okay, this is done. Now what I will do is I'll go for new entries, and you can go for some code. I mean, whatever we have maintained, which can be external code. You can go for new entries. You can maintain some like 2 1. You can maintain. I will type GVC trade union, GVC trade union. You can create one. You can create more than one. Say 2 GVC labor, GVC labor union. I have created two here, 21 and 22, and you can save it. Trade union and labor union have created. Position and other things I'm ignoring now, because we'll talk about position, job, organizational unit, all these things we'll talk about in OM module. So I'm ignoring that for now. For now, I've maintained work contract. Then we earlier we have already discussed organizational key, and we have actually configured the organizational key, and we also checked if it is working or not. Organizational key is done. Now we are talking about personal data. Just now we discussed about personal data. So that personal data varies from country to country. It's a country specific info type. All right. So the basic foundation is the same for all countries, but data is changing country wise. Particularly in SAP personal data, we are maintaining the names, first name, middle name, last name, or birth name, or all these things, nickname, these things we are maintaining. Okay. Name format. We discussed about name format also. So what you can do is you can go back to say personal data here. Personal data. How do you go to personal data? You directly, I'm directly coming from here, maintain external work contract to I'm coming here. So actually the path is it's the same: personal management, personal administration, then personal data. You can expand this tree, personal data. I'm coming directly from there, but the actual path is personal management, personal administration, and personal data. Okay, so again, you can go for personal data, personal data, personal data. Okay, here you can go for create forms of address, create forms of address. You can go to the node. So whenever we are maintaining data, all or when you are hiring, we have seen these options: Mr., Miss, Mrs., Miss, Midge, Doctor, all these options. But what is the requirement that you discussed today? You talked about Baron, Baroness, Senior, Senorita, or for India, Sri, Srimati. These values we talked about. Those are not there here. That is why while hiring, these options are not displaying because it's not existent. What I will do is I'll go for new entries. If it's not existing, create it. So I'm going to maintain 6. It's a 1-digit code. It is a 1-digit code. I'll maintain, for example, Sri. I'll maintain title Sri, long text. I will maintain SHREE dot Sri. Gender, meaning this title Sri or Sri is applicable for which gender, male gender or female gender. If it is applicable for male gender, you can type 1 here. 1 is the gender code. If it is applicable for female gender, then you can type 2. I'll go for another thing like 7, for example. I will type, for example, SMT. Here also I'll type SMT dot, or both can be same. Here is the title and the long text. Both can be same. There is not a problem. And Srimati may be used only for the female gender. So you can type like 2. And other things you can type. I'm not creating all because I'm just teaching you how to do it. You can go back and maintain other forms, Sri, Srimati, Kumari, or for other countries, particularly European countries like Baron, Baroness, or Senior, Senorita, whatever is required, you can create. I'm clicking on save. You can click on save here. You can click on save and you can then go back. Click save and go back. Okay, so here you can see here other values. Maintain titles, you can maintain. What I'm doing is I'm maintaining in this, you can maintain PA, personal administration, personal data, and you can see name format here. I'm going directly from here, you can go from here. name format. In name format, okay, so what you will do is you log out and log in after 10 minutes, because you know this ritual, daily ritual. This is a very disturbing thing, but however, we cannot help. So log out and log in after 10 minutes so that the video can be maintained.